Okay, guys, I hope y'all are doing great. I wanted to go over the Pythagorean theorem that we had a video for yesterday. I wanted to make a couple of points again, just to kind of reiterate a few things about the Pythagorean theorem. Hope you can see that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the Pythagorean theorem is only for right triangles. Okay, so that is really important. It will not work with other types of triangles, isosceles, or any other triangles. It's only for a right triangle, okay? So when you have this right triangle, it's denoted by this little square here. These two sides make up the legs of the triangle, and then the side opposite the right triangle is the hypotenuse. That's called the side opposite or the hypotenuse. So the length of the legs, so the length of the two legs of the triangle, and the hypotenuse are related by what we call the Pythagorean theorem. Okay? You see all that? So the Pythagorean theorem basically is this simple equation: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we're taking a, one of the legs, squaring it, plus b, one of the other side of the legs, and squaring it. And that will give us a squared plus b squared gives us c squared, or the hypotenuse squared. So knowing this relationship, we can actually use this to find the lengths of the hypotenuse, or the length or the hypotenuse, depending on which other factors were given. Okay, so for the first example, let me see here. I wrote that one down. If you are on your book on page 460, let me see, 465. Yep, example one, so that's page 465. Oh, I have it written down here. You're going to see a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're using this Pythagorean theorem to find, this is actually part of a bridge that they used in your example, where they take one leg, or the height of the bridge, which is 212 feet, by the length of the bridge, which is 478 feet, to find the hypotenuse, or to find C. Okay, so we would take 212 here, one of the legs, and square it, plus 478, square it, to equal c squared, to find out what this is. So if we take 212, we do some math, we'll find out that that's 44,944, plus 478 squared, which is 228,484, equals c squared. You see that? And we would then add these two sums together, and we would get 273,428 equals c squared. We'll then take the square root, because that is what these c squared is, taking the square root of that to simplify. And we could actually just use a calculator there to take the square root of 273,428, and we will find that that is 523. So we would know then that C, or our hypotenuse, is actually 523 feet. Okay? Got it? Okay, so we used our Pythagorean theorem to find the hypotenuse, and we can also use it to find the length of one of our sides of our right triangle. So that is example 2. We're going to find the length of a leg. Same theorem, Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So now we know one side is 10, One of the sides is 10. And we know our hypotenuse is C equals 12. So that's the hypotenuse is 12. But we're looking for another leg that makes up this right triangle. So we would say a squared, we don't know a, plus b squared, which is 10, equals c squared, which is 12. And that would give us a squared plus 100 equals 144. We're going to subtract 100 from both sides. Whatever we do to one side, we're going to do to the other side. So we can actually solve here for a. And we're going to get a squared, that just is going to drop down, equals 44. Because 144 minus 100 is 44. We're going to take the square root of 44, and that can be simplified to 2 and the square root of 11. We did square roots all last week. Okay? So in this example, we find that the length of a leg by having the hypotenuse and then one other leg. Okay, so you see how that always works? We can always find the relationship between those two if we use the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, and then lastly, for our third example, we're going to identify if we are given all of our sides, if it is a right triangle. So what does this mean? If we are given an A, a B, and a C, so we're given a leg, and a hypotenuse, does this equal a right triangle? So using the same theorem, we're going to say a squared plus 5 squared, or a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A is 3, B is 5, and C is 7. So we're going to square all of those and see if they equal the answer. So 3 squared is 9, 5 squared is 25, and 7 squared is 49. 9 plus 25 is 34. So this is not a right triangle because it does not equal each other. So we know that this is not a right triangle. If we were given numbers like in the last example, they give you if a squared is 15, b is 8, and c is 17, and you did the same exact thing, you would see in the example in 3b that all of that would equal 289 equals 289. Therefore, that would be a right triangle. So that's the last example there that we have. So that is pretty much what we're doing today. I'm going to give you just a few problems to do. Again, if you have any questions, know that I'm available from 1 to 3 daily. Hop on Google Google Hangouts, and you can talk to me then. Also, shoot me an email, or we can have a Google Meet where we can go over it. I hope you guys feel like you're learning something a little bit, and I hope you're doing great. I miss you.